Hello, Chloe here from Border River Flowers. We are going to do a garden tour today. Meant to be our garden tour for February, but today is the 1st of March. Better late than never, I guess. The reason I left it this long is we've been doing a heap of cleaning up, and I don't have an awful lot to show in the way of flowers at the moment. We're in between seasons, being the 1st of autumn now. So a lot of planting over the coming weeks. We've got a few new things already planted, a few things ready to go out, just waiting. We've had a real hot week. So we're just been waiting until it cools down a bit. Sunday it's meant to be cooling down a bit, so we'll probably get into doing a bunch more planting then, and then a lot of planting over sort of like throughout autumn, especially the first half of autumn. So I'll show you what we've got happening and the cleaning up we've done, and we've definitely had progress in a few places, just not a lot to show in the way of flowers. So here in row 1, 2 and 3, so you can see all the weeds still sitting in the walkways. We still have to clean it out of the walkways, but these were all weedy. This here is silver beet, which is old silver beet, and I cut it right back and it's coming back fresh, but I don't think it's worth the space to leave it there. But they've got really big root systems, so I have to pull up the weed mat, get the fork to dig them out. So we're going to get this weed mat. These 3 rows are all the same width of weed mat. So once we've got those weeds off the walkway, we're going to lift that up and roll it right back down to here where our zinnias are, and amend that soil a bit. I'm ready for this. These 3 rows are where all our overwinter flowers are going to go in. We're hoping to put a shade house over here, and this is where all our overwinter flowers are going to go, which we will be starting to receive seedlings for them in the coming 4 to 6-ish weeks. So yeah, I'll put a before photo here so that you can see what this looked like before we did the weeding. We've still got a little bit left to do down here. So if we go down here, we've got our original zinnias, which are still pumping out flowers. They're looking a little bit tired, some of them, but yeah, they're still pumping out quite a few flowers. This is the Bennery's Giant Wine. I'll make it in a shade. Might need to go on the other side, right down to here. And then this is the Bennery's Giant Scarlet. It's a couple of randoms there. Not the huge on the small zinnias, but the Bennery's Giant and the Queen, even the Queen Lime ones. I love the colour of them, but they've not performed super well for me. I've got a tray of them about to go in the ground, so I'll be stretching it with them as well to whether we get much out of them before winter. Gomphrena, we've picked off this. I've learnt something from it. I've learnt multiple things from it. It's the first time I grew it because I was told that it's so hard to harvest, so I just didn't think it was worth me putting it in, but I thought I'll give it a go. Number one thing I learnt was don't need that much of one colour. Next time I'll do different colours in smaller amounts, because I haven't even made a mark on that and I've been harvesting a lot from it. Number 2, what I learnt is on this outer row, you can see this is meant to be the walkway here, and this is meant to be the walkway between the zinnias and it. Doesn't exist. So next time I will put a string on the side of it to hold these. These outside ones aren't very usable because they're laying over sideways, so when you pick them they're sort of like, yeah, the flowers are all sticking sideways. So I'll probably come along and cut them. This is one of our piles of weeds. It's huge. This row here, this is our bit of Achillea, gladiolus. Oh, the other thing I was going to say about the Gomphrena as well with the harvesting, I don't find it hard to harvest. Because it produces so much, you don't have to be fussy about cutting it in exactly the right place or anything like that. I just go in, cut down at the bottom of it, well, I leave like a growth node or two, but just I pretty much hack it. That sounds bad, but I do, and it hasn't affected it at all. So yeah, got Achillea here, Gladiolas there, which just the last few flowers on them. Here, this garden bed is sitting lower than the other bed, so I've had really big problems with things dying in it because they're just getting too much water. It stays wet for too long. I won't be planting gladdies in my cut flower garden next year. I love them. I really do love them, but they're not worth the space in my cut flower garden. If I was doing big installations and stuff all the time, they'd be amazing to get the height and whatnot, but they're so hard to use in just yet. Here's the last few that are flowering. Weeds. Yeah, they're just too hard to use in everyday bouquets. There's our other lots of weeds. A little bit of what has stayed very short celosia. I had that one and the salmon one. Same amount of the salmon one, but the salmon one died because of the water sits in this row like I was saying. So they'll come out. Those weeds will come out. The gladdies will be coming out. And we'll probably get this weed mat joined here. If we get it and pull it over in this bed here, will get completely uncovered and amended. The few Achillea down the other end, I'm going to dig them out and add them to the Achillea up in the cellar door garden. This row here, nothing in that end of it, and this end here was the Veronica. Now I don't have many left, and what is left doesn't look great, and that's completely my fault. I let it get way overgrown by weeds, and it's only got 2 dripper lines on it when it needed at least 3, because I couldn't get it through because they were too big when I put the dripper on. So that's my fault. I've lost quite a few of them, which I'm annoyed at myself for, but again, we live and we learn. This here, these need weeding. This is the last succession, second last. I've put more little ones in there, but of Lisianthus, which again I left them in the trays too long, and so they're flowering. The flowers are beautiful, but they're too short, which is a real shame. We have Lizzie's, which I've just started weeding. I think we got a bit past halfway through weeding these yesterday. All the way down to here. And I cut off these lemon ones hard yesterday for the flowers. This is their second flush now. They did a beautiful first flush, amazing first flush. The lemons are doing a really nice second flush. The pink are doing okay. And then the whites aren't so great, and then the mauve or mid-grape one, it's okay, but there's a fair few weeds down that end still. I picked off this hide for a DIY wedding. But they've been incredible. So this one is, I never seem to remember what one is what. This one is Advantage 2 Yellow, and it didn't do as good a first flush, but did an amazing second flush. The pink one did an amazing first flush, but not as great of a second flush, and it's Corelli 3 Rose. And all of these 4 colours were planted all at the same time. And the white one is Mariaki 3 White, and I don't think I'd plant it through the hot part of the year, so it should be being planted now. So 1 is spring, 2 is summer, and 3 is like autumn season. And so they all did a reasonably good first flush. I would have said the lemon wasn't a great first flush. It's done a good second flush, and the other 3 haven't done as good a second flush as the lemon. But this one is Celeb 2 mid-grape. Feverfew, not going to waste the space and leave it in to see if it'll come back, because I've got just these handful that came back that aren't even good enough to use. This row here, we took the weed mat off it, and we're going to trial planting it without the weed mat this time around. So I've got 2 more lots, or 1.5. I've still got half a tray up there to plant. An apricot, lisianthus, and a purple, I think. Purple. And then here I have Bennery's Giant lilac, I think, zinnias. Then I've got a tray of one of the Queenie series, I think it's just the Queenie Lime, to go in here. I have the rest of the tray of Lisianthus to go in there. And I've done mowed here the other day, all around the garden as well. All the weeds were starting to really grow. I'll put a before photo and an after photo in here, so you can see what this looked like. On Sunday we just hammered out getting these 2 rows looking perfect again. So this row here is all my bought tubers. I think I've explained that before. We got hit by a big massive downpour of water in a very short time. The water sat, I lost a fair few, and they're only really starting to take off again now. This one here actually is one of my seedling ones, and it's starting to really come into its own. Its parent plant was just mixed colours. All of these seeds came from, it's Wild Violet Flower Farm, something. This one here, I'm not sure what it is, because I thought that one had died, but it's just shooting back. And also the other thing is, after they just started to look a little bit better, recovering, I had mob of cows get in here, and of all the beds they could have walked on, they decided to walk straight down the middle of my dahlia beds, and they trod on a fair few and broke them off. But a lot of them are shooting back. I just might not get flowers from them this year. This is one that was really badly affected by the water. Thought I would lose him, and struggling to get him to sit back up straight. Another one here. Anyway, I'll just go through them reasonably quick. These both here are both seedling ones that I grew from seed. This one here is from a fimbriated variety, and that one's another mixed colours one. This is another seedling one. It was another one from fimbriated. It's got interesting leaves, this one. A whole lot here that died. Another seedling one here that isn't looking that promising. It's a pretty weedy looking character. It's from a pom-pom varieties. Another few that I lost. Tuscany. We've had a few flowers off Tuscany now, which is nice. What's this one? Snow Queen. We've had a couple of flowers off it as well. It's a big white one. Might not be Snow Queen, but something like that. This one here is just starting to really bud up. It's a nice big bush. Another seedling one here, which is from Ball Varieties. Looks like it's going to be a red flower, or usually the ones with a bit of burgundy on their foliage is, so we'll see. And that's another Ball Variety one. Seedling. Here, all tuber ones. I think this is Glenmark Margaret. I've picked a couple off it. I thought I'd lost. I had 2, planted 2. I think I lost one, because they were planted next to each other, and that one there was lost and that one was lost. These are 2 seedlings that I only just planted, which look terrible. I haven't even pinched them. And this one over here, so there is 2 bushes here. That bush there is one bush, and then there's another bush here, and it looks like burgundy coloured. Not sure what it is. I'll have to have a look. Ones that died. Another seedling one here, which is looking a bit sad for some reason. Might be just the heat. It's another one from Ball Varieties. A gap. Here's where the cattle trot. You can see the indent into the ground where it trot and broke the original one off, and now it's sending up new shoots. And another one here. You can see where they walk straight down the middle. Look. Dun, dun, dun. And these all flower. These ones are flowering way too short, because they were ready to flower when they got hit by the water and knocked them back so much. They just did not appreciate that at all. There's another seedling here, and it is another ball variety. All died, which was a pain because I'd specifically bought these last ones up this end here, were all pom-poms, and I was interested in see what they were doing. I've only got one here which is really struggling. And in the next row over, I've got, these are all ones that were the start here, tubers that Emily gave me, and then tubers that I kept from my Vidalias last year down this end. I know I have a bunch of Formby art in here somewhere in the ones that Emily gave me, and a whole bunch of Eurekas down in mine down here somewhere, but besides that I don't really know what is in here. Well, I've got the ones right down the other end of this row that were mine. I've got them written in, but I'm not sure if I even got it right. These were a lot slower to get going originally, so when these got hit by the water they weren't up to the stage of flowering, so they've still done, they're growing, so they're still like, they're beautiful. And this one here is just starting to throw out its buds now. All growing nicely. There's still a few smaller ones here. Here again is where the cattle trot. There. This one here's keen to send up one really long stem. I think that one there and that one there were also ones that cattle trot on. These, all amazing bushes. I get a feeling, no I don't actually, because a bunch of these were ones of mine that I got mixed up and I didn't know what they were, so I just planted them. But a lot of them are really, they're great. They got long straight stems, much stronger and standing up much better than the bought tuber varieties for some reason. I don't know why, but look at the stem length on those. And they just look great, and these are just starting to get their buds now. All of them. This one here, oh, I keep getting tangled. This one here is amazing. I really had lost hope that I'd get much from them this season after having the water hit them. But they're coming back with a vengeance. Luckily well, I don't like it, but we've had a lot of hot weather. Really hot weather. So we're probably lucky. They reckon we're going to have a long, hot autumn, which is probably not going to be great for us in some ways, but for the dahlias, it's going to give them that bit extra time. Lost a few in here. Probably actually a few of those didn't even come up originally. I get a feeling this one hasn't been pinched. Maybe it has. It's sitting over a bit. In here. Got where cows trot again. I took a few out here that haven't shot back. Another one. And yeah, down this end is where it gets the wettest because it sort of runs off into a little bit of a lower spot. So I did lose a couple here from water in these. Okay, we hope you enjoy this update. Sorry I couldn't show you more pretty flowers, but that is that time of the year now. And the next stage of planting is happening. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment, and share with anyone who you think might enjoy or get any benefits from our channel. We've nearly hit 500 subscribers, and it'd be lovely if we could get there this month. That'd be amazing, and we might even do something special. We might do a giveaway or something. So I'll have to talk to Emily about that. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.